Howdy guys, Attorney Walter Hnot. My apologies, it took me a little bit longer. The camera was not working. I finally got it to reload, so now we are good to go. All right, this is a big question that a lot of people have been asking me to do a video on. Yes, there's other videos out there. Some people even sent me links to them and then quoted them as they were talking to me, and then I had to correct them. And they're like, no, this other video said this. I was like, no, that's not how it works. So I'm doing this as a corrective video to explain for SSDI benefits only. This is not an SSI video, but SSDI benefits only, Social Security Disability Insurance videos only, specifically for this topic, how much you can earn, how much you can get away with earning while still keeping your Social Security Disability Insurance benefits. Let's get right into it real quick. Howdy, howdy, Deb Carter, Jane Doe, Shirley, howdy, howdy, Constitutional Immunity, howdy, howdy. All right, so very cool, very cool. So here's what you need to know. There's a couple of things you need to know right up front when it comes to how much you can earn for SSDI benefits. There's earned income and then there's unearned income. Now, earned income, if you want to learn in depth about it, go check out section 416.1110, 416.310. That includes things like wages, net earnings from self-employment, certain royalties, honoraria payments, which are given, like payments given for professional services that are rendered nominally without a charge, and even potentially sheltered workshop payments. Sometimes they are countable, sometimes they are not countable. So I want you to remember that. There's two categories: earned income, unearned income. Is it countable? Is it not countable? Is it countable? Is it not countable? Okay, perfect. So here's the thing. We're not going to be going into the countable versus not countable categories because it would take 30 minutes just for that. We're going to focus mostly on what are all the cool little programs that they have to allow you to keep more money and still be receiving disability benefits, how the whole process goes on the timeline from your trial work period to the extended period to the ticket to work program, all that stuff. Now, let's talk about unearned income. Okay, so this is stuff where it's not like, you have a shovel in your hand. It's not that stuff. What it is, if you want to go check it out, it's section 416.1124. You just put in SSA 416.1124, unearned income. Basically, for Social Security benefits, this would be an example of Social Security benefits, pensions, state disability payments, unemployment benefits, interest income, dividends, and cash from friends and relatives and family members. Deb Carter, thank you so much for the donation. Also, Madame Shirley, thank you for the donation as well. Excellent. Deb Carter did 10 and Shirley did $9.99. Thank you. Excellent. I will get shout on some sweetie some treats, indeed. So here's basically what you need to know. You have these two weird things, right? You have income and unearned income. Income, you're doing the thing, right? For the most part, that's what it is. And unearned income, it's just the money's coming at you through a program or some sort of like payoff of something. It's different than traditional income. Now, let's go back to earned income because this is really the important one. Earned income, you can't earn more than $1,350 per month because it violates the SGA element, which is element 1 of the 5-step sequential process. What does that mean? There's 5 elements to disability, right? There's element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's sequential, which means that in order for you to get from 1 to 2, you have to get the correct answer at 1 to get to 2. You can't just go like, oh, I meet element 3, element 1, I meet element 5, I'm cool, I'm good, yay, I'm disabled. No, it's sequential. You have to go and meet element 1, meet element 2, meet element 3, etc., all the way through element 5, okay? Now, with that said, I need you to know this. We call the $1,350 ceiling, right? That's what you can earn up to. We call that SGA, or substantial gainful activity. Okay, but remember, that's for regular individuals who are disabled. That's for the less cool disabled people. For the super cool disabled people, blind disabled individuals, they're allowed to have an SGA limit of $2,260. These are all 2022 metrics, right? All 2022 numbers. So it's all this year stuff. So just keep in mind, if you're disabled, you can earn up to $1,350. If you're blind and disabled, you get to earn all the way up to here, up to $2,260. And that's because A, blind disabled people are cooler, and B, the SSA recognizes that they're cooler because it's significantly harder for them to work if they are blind individuals, okay? Because we rely so heavily on our eyesight. All right, now, next thing. When this all comes together, right, you need to understand that basically there's this reporting of earnings situation. I want to make it very clear up front. You have to report your earnings. Now, I know a lot of you guys might have a little side gig under the table. You might not be paying taxes on it and stuff like that. We're not going into that today. What we're going into is you actually earned it. It was like a payroll. They paid taxes on it kind of gig. Okay, so remember, you always have to report it to the SSA if you work and earn. But yes, I'm fully aware that some of you have side gigs that are essentially under the table. Okay, now, first thing we need to go through. Oh, wow, another $5. Thank you, good sir, for the $5 donation. Terrified, mortified, petrified, stupefied. Indeed, indeed. I appreciate it. You got to catch up with me, by the way. You got to catch up with me and give me an update on how everything was going with the thing we were talking about. Anyways, guys, here's the thing you need to know. There's this program. There's this cool thing, right? It's called the trial work period. You get 9 months to try out working without losing your benefits. This means if you earn a certain amount per month, then it triggers this trial work period, right? And you can earn over $1,350. So you can earn over SGA and still be cool, still be okay. This is a 9-month magical period that we call the trial work period. Now, what I need you to understand is this. It changes every year as to what triggers a trial work period. 2020 was $910. 2021 was $940. 2022 was $970. The point is it goes up every year as to what triggers it. So the moment you working, I'm working with my shovel, earn $1,000, right? So, or $971 or $2 or $3 or $4 or even just $970. The point is, the moment you earn just at $970 or above, you trigger it. And you begin to use what's called your trial work period. Now imagine you had a card, and on this card you had 9 little faces on it. And it's your face because we want to make it weird. So your face is staring at you 9 times on this card. And you've got your little clipper, right? And you're going to clip out each one of those little faces each time you trigger your trial work period. Now, what's so cool about the trial work period? They're magical. That's number one. Number two, you can earn literally a gajillion dollars, a big amount. What we've given away to foreign nations, you could earn that and be able to keep that. I mean, you would get taxed on it, but you'd be able to keep that money and your disability check for those 9 months that you keep earning more than $1,350. That's incredible. Why would the SSA ever do that? It's because they want you off the program and working. That's the idea. It's a carrot program to get you off of disability benefits and into the work environment. Okay. Now, you get these 9 months. So you're sitting there, you're clipping it, you clip it. I ran out. My card is empty now. I don't have any more faces on my card. What am I going to do? Right? No bueno, right? Okay. So after you blow through your trial work period, there is an extended period of eligibility. Now, trial work period, we call it the TWP. So if you want to be cool, and I know you do, you'll call it the TWP. All right. Now, the next one is called the EPE. All right. So TWP leads into the EPE. The trial work period leads into the extended period of eligibility. Now, what is this extended period of eligibility? It's not as well known as the trial work period. So after that 9 months of trial work period, right, you clip your last little face on there. Then you get, instead of having a trial work period gold card, you get a crappier silver card called the extended period of eligibility. There's actually no card, but we're just going to imagine there is. And there's 36 little faces on it. It's your face, but with a sadder face, and you got to clip those. The way it works is, okay, when you have it, so basically it's 36, which means, 12 months, 12 months, 12 months, 12, 24, 36. You get 3 years on the extended period of eligibility. The way it works is the deal with the EPE is that you get to keep your benefits. Oh, wow, that's another donation. Jeff Raymond, thank you. I really appreciate it. Love the Bugs Bunny and the little happy hands. Very cool. Thank you. So the deal with the EPE is that you basically get to keep your benefits for 36 months if you earn under SGA. Remember that $1,350? It goes up every year, but for 2022, it's $1,350. So if you're earning some cash, but it's under $1,350, you get to keep, right, your disability check for that month. But if you earn over $1,350, they take away your benefits for that month. So let's review real quick. The gold card standard with the 9 little faces on it, that's your trial work period. You can earn above $1,350 and you get to keep your money and your benefits. Life is good. Hey. After 9 months, your gold card runs out. Now you got to use this crappier silver card for 36 months. You're allowed to keep your benefits so long as each month you earn less than $1,350. All right, so then what's the game? You guys always ask me, how do I maximize the benefits? It's simple. You're going to earn as much as you can during that trial work period. You're going to keep it just under $1,350 per month for basically the 36 months thereafter. For each month during that 36 months thereafter that you earn above that $1,350, bad deal. You just murdered your disability benefits. Not good. All right, so now you understand the difference between the TWP, trial work period, and the EPE. And now once you understand those, you can now start to imagine the even bigger program, the even huge, humongous program. I'm trying to make cool words, but I'm not cool as an individual. This is the Ticket to Work program. Right? Whoa, what's that? Oh my God. Okay, anyway. So the point is this, the Ticket to Work program. All right, so remember, trial work period was 9 months, gold card, right? Your EPE, your extended period of eligibility, 36 months. Silver card, not as good, but still a silver card. Now what you have is basically your Ticket to Work program. Now you can start the Ticket to Work program at a different spot. The smart spot would be at month 10, but you'd have to start working on it on like month 6 of your trial work period. So 9 months, you get here, you need to start thinking about Ticket to Work program. That's where they give you a 5-year work period where you contract to go ahead and be in this program with this job to go ahead and continue to earn your way out of essentially the disability benefits program. And if you stay on track and you're cool with the moose, which is a main term, I don't know why I just said that, but if you're cool and you keep doing that program, you get to keep your money and you get to keep your disability benefits for a 5-year period. That's the big one, but it's also very restrictive. So we're going to call that the bronze card, right? Because it's not as cool as the gold card, and it's more restrictive than our silver card. So we're going to call that the bronze card, the bronze Ticket to Work program, okay? So we got the TWP, the EPE, and the TTWP, the Ticket to Work program. Right? Just let's make sure we're cool. So when we talk to people, we got to, acronyms, the whole thing, just one sentence, acronyms, let's scare everybody. All right. Now, the Ticket to Work program usually requires a regional SSA field office manager to sign it with you. They do have this cute website where you can begin the process and learn about it. Yay. Bottom line is, if you think you want to work your way out of receiving disability benefits, and that's a good thing, to make more money, continue your future, all that stuff, then this is the way you do it, through the Ticket to Work program. Now, are there cheat codes to the system? Sort of like life hacks where you get to keep a bit of the gravy on the side. The gravy is called impaired related work expenses, or if you are cool and hip, it would be the IRWE. Now, remember, these must be, there's other ones too, these must be approved by the SSA. So just realize, like, if you think you're just going to auto get them, they have to be approved by the SSA. So just realize that. Now, they are things that reduce the gross amount of money you earn so that you are less likely to hit the bell called SGA, the substantial gainful activity. So think of it this way. You're earning money, you're earning money, you're earning money, you're earning money. Ring, 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 you earn too much money. Oh, but wait, I have this amazing thing called an impairment related work expense, which means I get to deduct that, and now I'm under SGA. Life is amazing. Everything goes forward as planned. All right, now, so if you have an IRWE, right, or an impairment related work expense, it basically lessens how much you earned so that when you get close to that $1,350, you have a little like second life ticket in the video game. You can go a little bit above because you've got that backing you. Now, what are examples of IRWEs? There are things like, so I can do those, attendant care services, all that stuff. Let's first go over the elements. You got to know the elements before you know what they actually are. Or actually, I always like to let's do the examples first. These are like attendant care services, prosthetics, transportation costs, medical devices, work-related equipment, ambulatory devices, mobility equipment, adaptive equipment, medications, therapies. And here's the elements as to how this applies. Number one, it has to be purchased by a working beneficiary. That means you, the claimant, buy it. Number two, not reimbursed by a third party, right? So somebody else isn't paying for it. You paid for it. Nobody else gave you money for it. Number three, directly or indirectly related to their disability. So somehow this thing that you bought has to be related directly or indirectly to your impairments, okay? Number four, it's needed for them, the claimant, you, to work successfully. So you got to have it to get the job done. You don't have it, it's not going to happen, right? So if you got to do this job and you don't have your walker, it ain't going to happen. And then the final element, five, considered reasonable in terms of cost. Once again, considered reasonable in terms of cost. You didn't buy a complete gold, coated 24 karat gold, rollator or walker with a seat or wheelchair or whatever. It was realistic and reasonable. Or you didn't buy something that was, for a super expensive price. And then as a result of that, they're looking at it, well, hey, but then you'd have to negotiate and say, well, what do you feel is a good deduction for this IRWE? All right, now that's one of them. One of them. I know, I see reasonable there. I know that's always a term of art with the SSA. Now, there are others like subsidies, or special conditions, which refer to support you receive on the job that could result in you receiving more pay than the actual value of the services that which you performed for that employer, okay? So let me read that again so you have another shot at it, okay? Subsidies or special conditions, same thing. They refer to the support you receive on the job that could result in you receiving more pay, so you're getting overpaid, than the actual worth of what you're doing for that job. The SSA deducts the value of subsidies and special conditions from your earnings when they decide whether you are working at the SGA level. So it's another thing that they can play with to reduce your gross earnings to potentially be below SGA, even though SGA is insanely low at $1,350, which of course does not even buy most of the things that you would need over a 6-month period at Walmart, let alone a 3-month period at Walmart at this point. All right, now, the following are examples of subsidies and special conditions. You receive, an example would be you receive more supervision than other workers during the same or similar job for the same pay. You have fewer or simpler tasks to complete than other workers who are doing the same job for the same pay. You have a job coach or mentor who helps you perform some of your work. Additional examples, and these ones are right from the SSA website. Employment is sheltered. Sheltered is a term of art. We use it in hearings all the time to describe vocational jobs where it's like, it's a buddy job where they're just giving you a lot of accommodations. Another one, childhood disability is involved. Another one, mental impairment is involved. Another one, there appears to be a marked discrepancy between the amount of pay and the value of the services that which you provide. So like they're paying you way more. And I almost said a name that's connected to somebody very high up in government, a child maybe, a son maybe of somebody who receives a lot of pay, but maybe doesn't provide the true worth of services of that expected pay in this country or other countries. I'll get away from that. All right. The employer, employee, or other interested party alleges that the employee does not fully earn his or her pay, aka the employee receives unusual help from others in doing the work. God, that was written perfectly for that individual. The nature and severity of the impairment indicate that the employee receives unusual help from others. The employees involved in a government-sponsored job training and an employment program. That's a common one right there. That's a common one where they're like in a program that's watched over where the SSA can tap into the news related to it. Now, with this said, there are unincurred business expenses, which refers to self-employment business support that someone provides to you at no cost. You're not paying for it, okay? In deciding whether you are working at this level of SGA, the substantial gainful activity, we look at basically this unincurred business expenses from your net earnings from self-employment, okay? So we're talking self-employment here, guys. This is not regular EEER, employee, employer. We're talking self-employment. Now, there are examples of this where there's, unincurred business expenses where a friend or a buddy will go ahead and work for your business as unpaid help. They're just, nobody's really paying for their assistance, right? Okay. Oh, thank you for the donation, Butterfly, $4.99. I appreciate it. Very cool. Very cool. Love the strong little happy person. Very good. So another example would be a vocational rehabilitation agency where they give you some sort of machinery to go ahead and do something. Maybe it's a writing tablet, maybe it's an art tablet, maybe it's a laptop, computer, whatever. Okay, cool. For an item or service to qualify as an unincurred business expense, it must be one, an item or service that the IRS would allow as a legitimate business expense if you had paid for it, like you need it for the business. You need to do it for the business. Number two, someone other than you must have paid for it. You can't be the one who paid for it. Somebody else has to have paid for it. One way, and they put this as a notation from the SSA website, to identify an unincurred business expense is that the Internal Revenue Service, IRS, does not allow you to deduct the cost for income tax purposes because someone gave you the item or services. Now, there's another thing. We're going through a bunch here. I know. Here we go. Also, there's another one being the continued payment under a vocational rehabilitation program. This is part of this weird Section 301 payment system. Section 301 is actually a big, big thing of law that nobody really knows much about. Let's talk about it real quick. We're not going to be on it long. All right, now this is for SSI and SSDI. If you medically recover and no longer meet SSA's definition of disability, your monthly payments can continue if you're actively participating in an approved VR program that is expected to help you become self-supporting. Your monthly SSDI and or SSI payments can continue until you complete the program. This is like a broader thing than the Ticket to Work program. The Ticket to Work program is something similar to this that fits under the umbrella of this. Okay. Another one that you can do with money, right? So if you're trying to put money here, put money there, so it doesn't count towards your SSGA, substantial gainful activity, is a plan to achieve self-support pass. So this is for SSDI, SSI kind of gig. A plan to achieve self-support basically allows you to take this income that you have coming in and put some of it aside to go back to school, to get specialized training for a job or some vocational task. And basically what you're allowing yourself to do, and they allow you to do, is put some money aside into this special PASS system called the Plan to Achieve Self-Support. All right, now, basically, there's other things we can go through here, but I started late, and the bottom line is we have to do a couple calls, and then I'm going to go right to the expert on what's going on with Ukraine because there was a huge thing that happened today. All right, so real quick, guys, I'm going to put my phone number in here, the business line for you to call. If you want to give me a call, you absolutely can. Here's kind of the bottom line. So with all that said, you call that number and I can go ahead and basically, I can go ahead and basically answer any questions that you have about disability benefits. Let me do this. All right, let me get comfortable real quick. All right, so with that said, if you guys want to call that number, I'll go ahead and answer some questions. If not, we're going to go right next to the security expert as to what's going on specifically with the whole Ukraine situation, because this is so incredibly important, especially for people on fixed income. Because if the U.S. in some way has to get involved just beyond sending billions of dollars worth of gear, worth of aid to Ukraine, if we have to get involved beyond that, it gets very, very spicy for those who are on a fixed income through Social Security, disability benefits, and retirement benefits, and widows benefits. Now, another thing I want to point out, we're going to be doing another video in the not too distant future specifically, and this is important, specifically on essentially how much money you've lost as a result of just how they've done COLA over the years. Here we go real quick. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Now, real quick, would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and run some hearing questions with you?
A specific question.
Okay. Now I can barely hear you. Are we on speaker, or are we on right up to the ear?
Speaker. Hang on, I'll put it on the other way.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Okay, I'm here. Can you hear me better?
Yes, that's much better. How can I help you?
Okay, I got a letter from the student loan processor, and they told me that my student loan would be discharged because I'm on disability.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't do anything. They just sent me the letter.
Okay.
Like, how would they get that information?
Well, keep in mind that the federal government. All right. So, do you want the long answer or the really short answer? Because I mean, the answer to it isn't really going to change. They know, and they're trying to set you up with any programs that are available. But I'll give you the short answer if you want more. The short answer is the SSA kind of got in trouble by higher executive White House oriented groups for not utilizing these amazing programs as much as they should. Examples of them are disabled adult child benefits and getting kids filed for that, or getting wives and husbands who are now widowed signed up for widows benefits. Another example is people basically having their student loans being forgiven. So what's happening now is that these local hubs, these local field offices, are essentially recognizing those individuals who might be eligible for these other programs and putting them through a computer process, which allows them to go ahead and basically send out information relevant to signing up for and getting rid of your student loans. Now, obviously, this is a good thing, but remember, that's limited usually to just government-backed student loans. I don't know how old you are. I'm now becoming older. My student loans, I have some that are private student loans because I come from way back then, and some that are just government student loans. So, you have to realize that what they're really capable of getting rid of are these government-backed student loans. So, what kind of student loans do you have? And then also, basically, do you meet the requirements? Since you've been found disabled and your impairment's likely to last over that 3-year little bump period, they should be able to wipe out your student loans going forward.
Okay, none of mine are private loans. They're all public loans,
okay,
I guess.
Yeah, so if they're all gov loans, yeah, you should be good to go. They'll be able to wipe those out.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Well, sounds good, madam. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
Okay, guys, let me go ahead and pop over here to the next one. One seckaroo. Hold on. Oh, God, where is it? I lost it. I already lost the thingy. Where's the program? Here we go. Okay, good. I'm going to go grab one of the other calls that came in. Let's get this one real quick. Boom. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, good. We're going to get the person to answer, and then we should be good to go for the live show. All right. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this. Also, would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
Yeah, specific question, if you don't mind.
Perfect, good sir. How can I help you?
Okay, I just have a quick question. I called the Social Security office and asked them about the CDR when I was scheduled for my first one.
Sure.
I became disabled when I was 55, and they told me that I am not scheduled for one at all. First, before they told me I was scheduled for one at 62. Mm-hmm. Now they say I'm not scheduled for one at all.
So here's the thing. Some people, as they continue to collect your medical evidence, become just financially not worth it to check in on whether or not they have, moderate impairments as opposed to severe impairments. And the reality of this is that your impairments probably became more severe Your doctor stated that they did become more severe. You probably had more specialists added on to the doctors you had before, more imaging, more direct tests, things like that, which made you not a good candidate for a CDR because CDRs are expensive to do. So the bottom line is, if somebody is likely improving, back under the Obama era, we would never see CDRs past 58. You just wouldn't see them. During the Trump era, we saw them up to 62. During the Biden era, I'm now seeing them up to 65 for SSI people. It's just getting worse and worse. So kind of the bottom line is, you're just not a good pick for that because you've probably gotten worse over the years.
Okay. All right. Well, I just didn't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing. I figured I better touch base with you and find out.
Absolutely, good sir. They're going to leave you alone at this point, but sounds good. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You do the same. Thank you very much, Walter.
Thank you so much.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Bye now.
Perfect, guys. Let me go ahead and go to the next caller real quick. Here we go. All righty. Let's see if we can get this person on the phone. I'm going to let it go through its thing. Ironic, funny thing is that my phone doesn't actually work up to the ear anymore. I have to get a new phone. But normally I use a headset, and these are the best headsets that are out there by far. Oh, my goodness. They're sold at Walmart, too. So, hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Please remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Now, real quick, would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions? And just remember, you've got to mute the computer. Yep.
Yeah, I just did. Okay. My question is, a friend of mine wants to get married, and they want me to become an ordained minister.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, but could I lose my SSI for doing that?
Okay, so you have SSI, you became an ordained minister. How much are you getting paid as a result of doing this thing?
Oh, I was just going to do it free form.
All right, so
there's just a couple of friends of mine.
look, I don't think they're going to take your SSI benefits as a result of it. Sure, it's evidence that you have the capacity to take something past something, but this is not like a continuous work thing where 9 to 5 you're going to go, earn a standard basic wage. So I don't consider that to be like, look, if you were getting set up at a place where you stood there and they just marched people in front of you like you were in Nevada to get married over and over, then yeah, maybe. But look, if you're not using it in that regard and it's for 1 or 2 marriages, that's not a continuous work capacity. And I do not see that as something that they would kick you off of SSI benefits for. I think it'll raise a flag. You might get a CDR, but they're not, I don't think they would kick you off of SSI benefits for that.
Now, what do you call it? CDR? What is that?
CDR is a continuing disability review. What it is they have basically a review to see if you're still disabled under the original rules that you were found disabled under. So what they do is they look at the year and the month in which you're found disabled, and that becomes your CPD date, which is your moment in time where there was a decision where basically you became disabled. And then they as you go forward in time, right? So after year passes by on the timeline of you having disability benefits, at some point they look back and say, is this person still disabled? I don't know, right? And then what they do is they use this 8-step sequential process, 8 elements, to see if you're still as bad as you were. If you're not, they look at, okay, is he disabled in other ways? Are there new impairments, etc.? And if they're not, then they look at, well, what if he has a bunch of moderates to moderate severes that equate to an inability to work a full-time job? If you don't, you're not disabled anymore. If you do, you get a vocational allowance. So the bottom line is, they're basically doing a review to see if you're still disabled under their rules and regulations from when you were found disabled.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem because I lost both my legs from the knee down.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, it's because here's the thing: for the listing level under the 1.0 is musculoskeletal. For the amputation, if you lose both of your ankles down, you're de facto listing level disabled. So just so you know, you were found disabled in the 5 elements that they used for your initial disability, review. You went to element 1, you passed that, you weren't earning too much. You went to element 2, you've had it or will have it for 12 months, or it'll be terminal, which in this case you'll have for more than 12 months. And then number 3 is where you were found disabled. You didn't make it to 4 or 5 because there's a secret little door at element 3, and that's called a listing level allowance. And what that means is that you basically were found disabled under a special listing where they predefine certain impairments that are so bad that you're automatically found disabled. And because you have both of your ankles and down amputated, in this case, knees and down, in that instance, you are automatically found disabled at the listing level at element 3.
I also had 3 heart attacks. I got bad heart valve.
Holy cow.
So I got a whole lot of things wrong with me.
Wow. So yeah, cardiovascular 4.0s. I mean, you'd fall under that as well. Ischemic attacks and all of that. So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, good sir. You're unlikely to have CDRs. You probably don't even need to know what they are. You should be fine. So, yeah. Oh goodness.
Okay.
Perfect.
So that means I'll go ahead and marry my ex-wife off of my another friend of mine, right?
It's always preferable. Always prefer. Very good. Oh my goodness. Well, sounds good, good sir. I will catch you a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
Okay, thank you for answering my questions, and continue watching your show.
Perfect, sir. Thank you. I'll catch you later.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh. Guys, what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to go ahead and basically call our security expert specifically on what's going on. I'm getting one more call. Let me see if I can get this call real quick. Hold on, real quick. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Please remember to use a fake name throughout this process. With that said, can I answer a specific question for you, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
I have a specific question.
Sure.
Okay, so I am waiting for my hearing. I had a job very part-time. I quit the job for numerous reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And I just passed some tests for a side gig, basically side hustle, where I will be working a minimum of 10 hours a week. Up to 20, I wouldn't be able to do 20, but it's a 1099, so I would be working like when I can do the work for like an hour or 2 at a time. How could that possibly hurt my upcoming case?
So here's the deal. The judges look at 2 main things. I mean, they look at a lot, but 2 main things when they're in the fire of the hearing. And what it is they're looking at the SGA. Are you earning more than $1,350 per month? Which, depending on your hourly, you might. And basically, the next thing they look at is, was this long-term work? If you're able to work at this place, and technically the statute says, less than 6 months, but realistically, I always see it as 3 months. That's why I tell people, like, if it's not working out, you might have to change careers at 3-month marks just to make sure you achieve that failed work attempt scenario, if that's your situation. If you can continue to work, you continue to work. But when the judge looks at it, they're looking to see if it's a failed work attempt. And a failed work attempt is where essentially, you have good reason to stop working there. And usually that equates to, the best one anyways, a firing, where you get terminated from that job after 3-4 potential months. Some people push it to 5 right before 6, but that's dangerous. Now, with that said, any month during that time in which you earn over that $1,350 per month, you are ineligible for receiving back pay benefits for those months. So kind of the bottom line is, if you're earning over $1,350 and you make it to month 6, that's a solid work attempt, and they may be able to attribute basically, and they will be able to attribute that as part of a vocational analysis during the 3rd part of the hearing. So you have the intro, where the judge and the attorney talk. Then you have your testimony, part 2, the vocational expert's testimony, part 3, and the outro of the hearing. If they add a medical expert, it'll be basically the intro, medical expert, your testimony, the vocational expert, and then the outro of the hearing. But the bottom line is you have to look at it as 2 main things. You can't earn over the $1,350 per month. And if you're still working there after 6 months or even 5 months, that's how a lot of the judges look at it, you're going to run into some big trouble, because they're going to use it against you in their adjudication to say, well, look at how she worked and earned there. And let me ask you this. How old are you currently?
49.
Oh, you're so close to a potential grid out under the sedentary based rules. So here's the deal. you have no rules that really protect you or allow you to be able to get in with essentially the grid outs. So you got to be real careful.
Okay, the previous job that I just quit, again for numerous good reasons, I have been there about 6 years, 5 or 6 years, somewhere in there. So, I need to live, and if I can do a minimum of 10 hours at this other job, which I haven't even started like my first day yet, and you do these things on your own time, if I can make good money doing that, then of course I would rather do that. But there's days where I can't barely even walk or get up out of the bed, so I'm just kind of testing it out. So just be aware of the 3 months time limit you're saying.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you go there, you want to rack up the accommodations to show all the things you need to be able to basically produce work product that other people don't get. Extra time to do it. You don't have to do all the steps. Somebody's always helping you out. You got to rack up the accommodations. The other thing is you have to basically get a letter from them explaining that you are receiving the accommodations as a result of your work there. And that's what basically gets called a sheltered work environment. That's the buddy effect. That's where somebody's giving you a job that normally would not exist in the national economy. And so what they look at is, all right, well, if she was working this job, are there any equivalent jobs that she could potentially work in the national economy, that are like it? And if you've got all these accommodations, then there's nothing out there in the dictionary of occupational titles that is similar to the job you were doing, because your employer was super lax, gave you a sheltered situation. And as a result of that, there's no job that the vocational expert can advise the judge that you could potentially do that's similar to that one, because you didn't really do the textbook version, the DOT version of that job. You did a special high accommodations version of that job.
I see. Okay, that helps clear a lot of my questions. I can't get a hold of my attorney. Anyways, I got to talk to them eventually, soon, hopefully. But I thank you very much. That answers my question. And I just found your channel not too long ago, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Well, have a wonderful, wonderful night, and hopefully I'll catch up with you in the future.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Awesome, guys. So basically, that was a really good question. A lot of people that are younger and applying for disability benefits are trying to figure out a way to go ahead and, basically, continue to move forward and essentially get some sort of income to have the things that they want to keep. And that's such a big thing for younger people going into their 40s, even into their 50s. They've got a house maybe that they've been paying on for a really long time. They've got a car that they've been paying on for a really long time. Hopefully at some point on Thursday night, she'll give us a call back and give us an update on what she worked on, what happened, stuff like that. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and try right now to reach our security expert specifically, because that's where I actually get my update on the Ukraine war. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but all the stuff that the security expert tells us ends up popping up on the news the next morning. So I don't know if you realize how amazing it is that you have access to this, but you're getting literally the news a solid, 8 to 12 hours before it pops up on the legacy news station. So with that said, let me go ahead and give the gentleman a call right now, and we'll get rolling with this real quick. Let me see if I can get him on the phone real quick, and then we should be good to go. Hopefully I can. If we can't, that's okay too, but I'm really hoping we can, because some big things happened over in Ukraine over the past couple of days. So let's see if we can get the gentleman on the phone. All right, I'm nervous. Let's see if we can get him. Another ring. I'm still nervous. Let's see if we can get him on here. Oh no, we might not get him. That's okay though. We can always catch up with him. Oh God, come on, pick up.
Your call.
Oh no! All right, so that's okay, guys. I'll try and give him a call a little bit later, just to check back in with him. As a summary thing, there was a massive thing that happened for Ukraine, which was that a significant amount of soldiers, unfortunately, had to become prisoners of war. Russia just glassed They just glassed the surface of that port area. And as a result of that, they just, they ran out of food, they ran out of things, and Russia took over the spot. The news always promotes, which is what I really like about this individual, this gentleman. He always gives both sides. He gives what Ukraine is doing that's amazing, but also the reality of what Russia is doing. And the reality is that Russia has flattened. We're talking about, brick buildings, concrete buildings, block buildings, wood buildings. We're talking about A-frames scattered to the wind, has flattened many of the areas in Ukraine. So when people say Ukraine's winning, Ukraine is alive by a string, by the benefits of what other countries are giving them. Were it not for the United States and other places, Ukraine would literally have been wiped from the map and rebuilt under the red image of Russia. And the reality is that no matter what, Ukraine has to be rebuilt. And I don't mean like, hey, we're swapping out that wall with this wall, we're adding this couch for that couch. I mean foundational stuff, like the stuff they put into the ground as the base fundamental to keep the house in place. We're starting there. We're starting with bulldozers and a lot of concrete rubble and a lot of shrubbery rubble and a lot of wood rubble. Okay. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and take basically another call real quick to see if anybody else has any other questions. Whatchamacallit? We're actually getting pretty. Oh, I typed in the wrong one. Hold on. Let me see real quick. Hold on real quick, guys. Hold on. 1754. There we go. Perfect. So with that said, what I want to do is, that's the correct phone number at the bottom there. If you guys want to give me a call, I can run a few more hearing questions with you. If not, I can always, what I really want to do is I want to do a specific video, not just like part of the live. I want to do a specific video on essentially what's going to be happening going forward with all these other countries and status things. And what the video I want to do, just so you know and you're aware of it, is I want to do a video on basically what's going to be happening with best players for essentially a nuclear situation. Not necessarily like immediate hit or it hits you right, you're in the zone, but just outside of it. Oh, we got a caller real quick. William Randall, thank you for the donation. Excellent. Now, $5 donation, good sir. Now, hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube right now. Remember to use a fake name. Remember real quick, would you like me to answer a specific question or would you like me to go ahead and basically run hearing questions? And just remember, you have to mute your computer while we're on the phone. That way we don't have any overlap. Perfect. Excellent,
Hello?
excellent. Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Hi.
Perfect.
My name is Dawn. And I started a case with disability
Perfect.
about, this is going to be the fourth time I've been in front of the judge.
Okay.
And the reason why I'm calling in, because my lawyer she's never seen this before.
Okay.
I was denied
Okay.
because I wasn't disabled enough.
Okay.
I appealed,
Okay.
and we had to start the process again.
Wait.
the judge-
Totally again?
Uh-huh.
Oh, so
I'm
okay.
sorry?
You went in front of the administrative law judge. You got a denial, and then what happened at that point? So walk me through. You basically help me understand. You got denied at the ALJ OHO hearing level, correct?
Correct.
Okay, cool. And you didn't appeal it to appeals council because there were no grounds.
No, we did. Well, at first, no. The appeals council. That's the third time I went in front of the judge.
Well,
They overturned it. Well, they didn't overturn it. They sent it back to the judge. Well, now the judge is upset. She refuses to call me by my correct name.
Mhm.
The occupational therapist said that there's maybe a total of 3,000 jobs in the U.S. that I can do.
Okay.
Basically saying that, I'm basically disabled is what my lawyer told me.
Okay. What were the jobs? What was the
Now-
specific job that they proffered under the DOT?
I was a computer specialist analyst in
Computer.
customer service.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, gotcha. So you're a computer specialist, analyst. Okay, now, but do you by any chance now that's what I'm guessing your past relevant work was. That's what you did in the past 15 years, correct?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, very good. Now, what job did they say that you could potentially do in the national economy nowadays?
Nothing.
Well, they had to say
I
something.
can. They said that I cannot be. I should not be. I cannot communicate with the supervisor. I'm sorry. I'm kind of a little nervous.
Sure.
I'm not supposed to be speaking to the supervisor. I cannot be around the public. I can sit for 2 hours and stand for 2 hours total, back and forth.
Okay.
The judge asked the occupational therapist if I can even stuff envelopes.
Okay.
And he basically said no because of the damage from working on computers that was done to my hands and arms.
Okay.
She's being biased. Well, after the court hearing, narrow it down. Someone deleted the recording
Whoa.
of the hearing.
So the judge might have gotten really
Yeah.
angry and the clerk might have snipped the recording. I've seen that before. Whoa. Okay.
Have you?
Oh yeah, I've seen that before. I had one judge blow up at me. It was bad. I mean, it was like judicial review of that judge bad. I didn't file a complaint against that judge because I have a general rule that I usually do not file complaints against judges that go above and beyond whatever, you know what I mean, they should, where they're just explosive and they're extreme, because everybody has a bad day. Now, if that judge ever came back and did that 2 in a row, I would file a complaint against them. But I, as a rule, allow them to have one bad day because it happens. Their jobs are very stressful. Their family lives are in total shambles. So yes, but now with that said, when was the recording erased? Because they can tell when it existed and when it was gotten rid of.
My lawyer doesn't know. They refuse to tell her.
All right, so
she requested the transcripts. And it happened, I shouldn't say, I don't know, it happened within the first week.
Okay. So I've seen that before. It could have been the system. It could have been an innocent issue. But let me ask you the following couple of questions. Number one, was the judge being disrespectful to you?
Very.
How was the judge being disrespectful to you?
One, that's our, for some reason, I keep getting the same judge.
Yeah, that's how it works. So if you get a denial at the ALJ hearing level and you appeal up and it gets remanded just means they yo-yo it back down. You get yo-yoed back to the same judge twice, and then on the third remand, you get a new judge. So you're stuck with that judge 3 times, and then on the 4th, you get a new ALJ. But unless there's a constitutional issue with that judge, I'm in the weeds with that one. But the bottom line is you're going to see her basically 3 times before you get another one. But unless, of course, yeah, okay, cool. So essentially, it keeps being remanded. Can I ask you this? Were all the recordings magically lost, or just the one where the judge was particularly explosive?
Just the one that she was particularly explosive towards me.
Yeah, so I've seen this before. This is not uncommon. The clerks have the capability to essentially erase that audio strand. And as a result, I one time looked into, because I just wanted to keep the audio from where one judge literally blew up on me, would not allow me to speak on behalf of the claimant or just speak at all, and just completely, just desecrated the claimant as a human being. And I wanted to just keep it to say this is the first time. If she ever did it again, this is the second time. But it ended up being erased. So yes, this is something that does happen. I've personally seen it as an attorney. The only thing you can do about it, if you feel that it's the right move, and you've already been in front of this judge 3 times, so bottom line is you're going to get a new ALJ soon. If you and your attorney agree on it, you should then go ahead and file a claim with the Office of Inspector General. That's called OIG. OIG is this
Okay.
group. They oversee everything. And what they do is they basically are in charge. They're like the lawyers at the SSA. They're in charge of making sure everybody does what they're supposed to. And here's the thing, a lot of people don't realize this, but administrative law judges, just like all judges, except for the Supreme Court judges, all judges except for Supreme Court judges, they are held to an even higher standard than lawyers. So there's like the regular person, then there's like the standards of your regular professionals, then there's the standard of attorneys, and then above that are the standards of judges, where they can't even seem to be doing something incorrect. They can't even, not if it is, or they can't even seem to potentially be doing it. So as a result of that, when something like that happens and they blow up, that judge is in potentially significant hot water. Now, I don't report judges unless they do it to me twice. And the bottom line is I've had people do it to me twice, but it's spaced over like 5 years, 8 years, whatever. So then I let it go because these judges have bad days. And for some reason, as an attorney, they blow up on me, but I've always been like cool about it. So they've been, they correct their behavior towards me. Because I just, it's not my job to fight with the judge verbally where I'm screaming at them. It's my job to convince the judge that you're disabled to like you as a claimant for a finding of fully favorable. That's my job. So, and even if I had my claimants on here, they would say, I've taken a lot of punches. I've taken a lot of hits to the face from judges who will attack me, mispronounce my name, attack my heritage, all that stuff. They'll just go after me. But I keep cool, which I think your attorney did. It sounds like she did. And then basically just let it flow. Yeah. So that's the goal here. But if you feel that it's necessary, contact OIG, Office of Inspector General, and file a complaint. And what will happen is that will make it down to the chief ALJ directly above the judge that you had. And then from that point going forward, and this is incredibly important, from that point going forward, you will not be interacting with that judge ever again. Now that you've already seen her 3 times, you won't be interacting with her, or him, but you will not be interacting with that judge going, yeah.
The thing is that because that recording was deleted, she is demanding another court hearing, which is on the 9th. Now, my lawyer has asked for the transcripts and has asked, I can't remember, but she asked for a couple things, and the judge won't send it to her.
I had a judge.
As of when I talked to her.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
As of, I think it was Monday, she still hasn't received anything from the judge's office.
I had a very, very naughty judge. I think it was Miami, who we had an issue with that played that game where it disappeared and we had to do another hearing. And then the next hearing, sweet as pie. Judges have a knowledge base of how to fix things in the system. Now, look, there's always a little bit of ebb and flow with these rules. There's always a little bit, they're stepping on the line, a little bit beyond the line to go ahead and make the system work. Because, the system wouldn't work if everything worked exactly by the specific protocol. It wouldn't work. It just wouldn't work. I'm convinced of that. I've seen too much to know it wouldn't work. So, I have seen this before where they request another hearing because they don't have access to the original testimony to quote to in the brief. And what she's doing a redo essentially. My thing to you is you have to make a choice. I'm going to tell you what I did. I made the choice to not file a complaint and to see what the judge was going to do the next time. I made that choice. I talked with the client. The client made that choice. You could go the alternative route and get a totally different administrative law judge. But I would recommend the following. If you know that this judge is now going to be sweet as pie because of this whole thing that's come up, you know that there's a higher likelihood of her or him wanting to magically make this
Her.
claim, her, go away. And the only way it's going to go away is by approving it and writing a solid brief, which is what this judge is lining this claim up to do. I mean, the judge would have to be out of their mind to then go ahead and do another hearing and then just find a way to deny. That would be a terrible, terrible choice. That would be a terrible choice. And the judges are smart people. They're the best of the best of the attorneys. They're the best of the best. They're incredibly intelligent people. They don't pick slops. They pick the best of the best of us disability attorneys to do those ALJ jobs. They make us do a test to do that job. They make us write an appellate level brief to do that job. We have to have 9 people that recommend us in all these different categories. We have to write all these, answers to all these questions, all that stuff. They pick the best of us. But I will say this judge is going to be smart about this and now likely to approve the claim any way that she can because she wants this scenario to go away. So you've got to balance and weigh. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
My lawyer has talked to other lawyers, and she's been a lawyer for 10 years, and she worked in the office of the ALJ, or ALJ, for 10 years. She said that she has never seen a case like this, and every lawyer that she has brought this to has said that this is a personal attack. So she's already preparing for it to go back to the circuit court. Or the appeals court.
The appeals council, then district court, but yeah. And then circuit, yeah.
Yeah. And she's at a loss. As a computer analyst specialist, I know that recording is on that computer.
Well, they can
I've worked on computers.
Yeah, they can delete the audio recording, but what they probably did not get rid of was what the transcript person was writing down. However, if this was telephonic, they might have not had somebody doing a transcript like they do with an in-person hearing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, trust me, this judge knows what she's doing. She would not look, and that's the thing too. Like, I've seen a lot of shit that should not have happened, but I'm a smart person because I know that they control my ability to eat food at the end of the day and pay for my employees. So I know that I have to play the game. You got to understand, you retain your option to reach out to OIG, whether you have this next hearing with her or not. It might be advisable to have this next hearing and let this thing settle itself.
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear from you, because I've been watching you for a while, and I trust what you're saying.
Well, I'm a chess player. Yeah, I'm a chess player, so I'm not going to tell you, oh, you should go beat down the door of OIG. No. Great attorneys, they don't just do what, the usual. You ask yourself, what's my long game? What is my 5th step down the line going to look like? What is my 10th step down the line going to look like? And here's your big thing. What do I do with an aggressive judge that may have, we don't know, could have not happened that way, but may have had a buddy, the clerk, go ahead and erase an audio recording. If that occurs, what's happening? Well, what's happening is we're not saying it did, but we're saying there's a potential for it, even though I've seen this before. The bottom line is this. That judge is very fearful of what happened during that hearing. So she wants another hearing to correct it. But that judge knows her reputation for potential future education, getting a slap on the wrist and having to do more stuff to get back on track. That judge realizes that she could be facing that if there's no approval. So you might be looking at potentially a significant amount of back pay allowance because that judge wants this problem to go away. But you keeping your back pay. Yeah.
Okay. She had to take the jab first before she doing what's.
I'm going to tell you exactly. Basically. I'm going to tell you what the only judge I trust is able to actually separate people from their claims, attorneys from the people's claims, experts from the people's claims, where they're actually able to be very neutral, very unbiased, and just do their job. This judge works at the Orlando hearing office. And it's one of the few judges I think I'd be able to give the title to of actually being completely unbiased. And what she does is she has the ability to separate the client. If she doesn't like the client, she has to visually separate from that person the things that she doesn't like and just purely look at the evidence. The attorney, if she doesn't like the attorney that is representing the client, she specifically can go ahead and separate the attorney and the aggressiveness and the, oh, I don't like this person from that. She has an amazing ability to do that. I will say this to you.
That's awesome.
Most judges do not have that. They just don't. It's not in them. And that's like a superhuman skill. Like being able to, you fly or see, or breathe underwater. That's like a superhuman skill. So as a result of that, this judge is trying to fix a problem if that occurred that way. I think you should let the judge fix the problem. And if the problem doesn't go away, you retain your OIG chip so that you can always put that into play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.
You too, hon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Perfect. All right, so guys, I missed. There's another one. Hold on, real quick. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Also, real quick, would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions with you?
Specific question.
Perfect, good sir. How can I help you?
I've got a question about the Social Security disability doctors that they send you to.
Sure.
I'm in the initial application process. I haven't been denied yet.
Gotcha.
But I have a ton of objective evidence. I have 2 herniated discs. I've got recent MRIs, X-rays. I have my regular doctor, an orthopedic specialist I've seen, and a surgeon that have all said that my MRIs are extremely bad. I've been through all of the steps, but they still want me to go see one of their doctors, and I don't know why.
Oh, it's easy. So here's the thing. Back in the day, they would give more weight to your doctors, because there's a lot of reasons. A, you would see your doctors more. B, they were more, knowledgeable about your claim because they've been working with you for a while. A lot of reasons. They changed the rule under Commissioner Saul. It was the worst thing, commissioners. If you were to take President Trump's entire presidency and say what was the worst thing that happened, right? And you looked at like the Jan 6 thing, or that thing, or this thing, or that thing. None of them compared to the rule where they changed it, where their medical expert potentially could have the same weight as your doctor. That was, in my opinion, one of the worst things that President Donald Trump allowed to happen through Commissioner Saul, which is why you don't want a commissioner that is a for-profit, make money, save money guy or female in the Social Security Administration. You want somebody like Commissioner Kijikazi, who's a nonprofit type of mentality. But anyways, the point is this. They want you to go see their doctor because the weight of the evidence will help validate whether or not your doctors are being truthful. And if your doctors are saying that you're more severe than their doctor says, then it becomes a battle of the experts. And then they look at the weight of who said what. And then basically at the end of the day, they say, okay, well, we believe this person more than this person, or this person more than this person. And the person who will decide your claim is not your doctors. It's not the doctor that they will send you to. It is called an MCPC, which is a medical consultant who essentially looks at it and then advises the DDS rep on whether you meet the listings or have the potential for a vocational allowance.
Okay. So either of them could be biased, I guess, depending on their mood or what day of the week it is, huh?
Well, I mean, man, the whole system
their
is
doctor, or it being the guy that you just mentioned, or the person you just mentioned.
Right. So you got to keep in mind, like, this is a human system. Like, when I go do the lawyer stuff, you know what I mean? I'm biased towards the claimant. The judges are supposed to be neutral and impartial, and this is supposed to be, a non-adversarial process. I've seen judges beat the hell out of claimants verbally. I've seen them beat them down. The pure definition of not, one of those situations where it's supposed to be a friendly conversation. But you got to understand, this is the system we have. It's not perfect. Right. It's not great. The
I've
rules.
read too many horror stories, so I'm biased myself. I think that the government is out to save all of their money.
Well, yeah. Every time you speak with them about overpayments, the overpayment people are like, "We have to protect the trust funds." Oh, right. We have to protect the retirement trust fund, which is running out, and the SSDI trust fund, which isn't really running out, and the SSI money that comes in from the tax. We have to protect it. Well, look, guys, if you really want to protect it, do an audit of the entire government. Let us have private accounting firms figure it out. And then what we'll see is that we're spending a lot of money on retired people and massive battleships, our mega ships. And as a result of that, what it comes down to is that, to make it very simple and very clear, there's a lot of money there that we seem to have to send to other countries that normally would go not to the people. So at some point we have to ask ourselves, why do we keep going in debt? What are we, like 30 trillion in debt? And remember, that's your debt. That's my debt. I mean, I'm already way in debt with student loans, but man, you and I have hundreds of dollars on top of our head that our government put on our heads. And what they don't want us to realize is that the worst accountants, the worst managers, the worst executives on earth work in the richest country on earth and created the largest debt on earth. And that's our politicians.
Oh, they're not in debt, though. We're in debt. They just send our money off to the laundry machine, and then it comes back into their account.
It does seem like they've got a good laundry. It does seem like that happens. I mean, the more and more I look at the realities of California and New York politics, man, I got to tell you, I mean, it's even New Jersey. The fraud that happens there is obnoxious. And
every one of them comes out of that business as millionaires. How do they become a millionaire?
A millionaire isn't a big thing
money
anymore.
They come out with that they didn't have when they went in.
To have $1 million or $1.01 million, that's not a big deal anymore. But to come out with 5 million, to come out with 15 million, they say Bernie's worth 3 million. Bernie's not worth 3 million. His houses are worth more than 3 million. Just right. And that's one of the things that I think, and then we all laugh at like these fact checkers, which is, obviously no one supports that unless they are extreme left, which is, there is no such thing as the truth in absolute, because we're humans. The sky is blue to us. Is it blue to everybody? No. So bottom line, I would say is this, unfortunately, going forward, I don't know what's in it for the program, but we are going to be getting a lot of new administrative law judges, which is good. A lot of new blood, a lot of new opportunities for great thinkers.
I hope so.
Yeah.
My second round.
Yeah. So, but look, if you run into any issues, make sure, remember, if anything odd happens at that medical expert appointment with the consultative examination, anything weird happens, send in a post-CE debriefing form to the DDS rep explaining what went wrong. All right?
Okay. Also, I was planning to record. In my state, it's not illegal. I don't even have to tell them I'm recording. So if they just pull off with 5 minutes and tell me to get out and then write this big, long, thing, I'm going to have it recorded. Yeah,
man, that's good. That's good, because most states, we don't have that opportunity. And, sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it's a bad thing. But I would say this, right. If you have the opportunity, use it.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely, good sir. Well, I'll catch you a little bit later. I'm going to take one more phone call. I guess I'll give the security and expert a break tonight, but I'll catch you a little bit later, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.
All right. You too. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So I'm going to be taking one more phone call. I'll give our security expert a break tonight, a break of relief tonight. But the real reason is I really want to do this big video with him. And I'm going to show it to you guys before, and somebody might call in and swap it out. But hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Here we go, splice. But you know what? If somebody calls in, it might show their number. Well, anyways, point is, I've been working on this video, that basically is just really, really cool for like a missile silo and all this stuff of what happens with the nuclear situation. So I want to use that video with him because he's just got a great voice and he has so much knowledge. But anyways, guys, if you want to call in, one more phone call. Shirley, thank you. I appreciate it. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for the $4.99 donation, the $5 donation. That's excellent. Thank you for the cool little fox. Excellent. So I'll put the phone number up there real quick. Let's see where it is. There we go. One more phone call, and then basically that's it. I see a lot of people I know in here, which is awesome. Excellent. We got one more phone call coming in. Give me 1 second. We are live on YouTube. Use a fake name. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to run hearing questions? And just remember to mute me in the background on your computer. Here we go. Go ahead.
Hello.
Perfect. How can I help you?
Okay. I applied for disability a year ago, and I was approved. So my payments started 6 months later in November of 21. I work for the school district where I live, so I was covered from June after I applied until September 1st for my medical insurance. I have cancer, so I'm in treatments and stuff. And then I looked at my options for what they told me. I have to wait 24 months to get Medicaid or Medicare. So I went with the Cobra insurance through my work, which I'm paying $700 a month for. Another $40 for dental, but I don't think that counts. And that was my best option because once I started getting my payments, I made too much to get like the Obamacare or whatever. So is there any way to speed up getting on that Medicare at all?
You mean beating the 24-month a little bit faster with the whole 5-month restriction thing?
Yeah.
So technically what you have to do at this point is just find some alternative insurance to get whatever treatment you need. So one in particular is the thing you want performed that's not covered.
I'm sorry?
What in particular is the medical condition or rather the medical procedure that you want performed that's not covered under the private insurances that are out there?
Well, it's covered. See, I went with the Cobra because I don't, so I can't get like a rebate like you would on Obamacare or something if you're going into and I went with that because it's a good plan. It's like $2,000 out of pocket for the year.
Sure. And
I couldn't come close to that in anything in the marketplace. So it's just, cuts way into my income. So, I mean, I can do it, but I just didn't know if there was a way to speed up getting the Medicare going at all.
So
before, because I have like another year. I'm not sure how long I can stay on Cobra.
Right.
But I haven't checked into that yet. But that's just the only thing I'm concerned with is how much I'm paying out in just premiums.
So what I would say is this: to my knowledge, there's no way around speeding up that 24-month allowance potential. I'd have to research it. So I would send me an email specifically with this question, because there's usually a workaround for some emergency situation. Usually, you got the 24-month waiting period standard for Medicare when you're found disabled. You go back to the actual alleged onset date when you were severely disabled. That's the date they found you from disabled from, and then you look at basically the 24-month rule on top of that. The problem you're running into is a financial one that is very common with most people. they can't afford the better insurance that they want to use. But as a result of it, they run into a situation where basically they have to put out a bunch of money until they can get onto the Medicare option. And then, of course, take Medicare the first moment you can, because if you don't, you get penalized. And it's a horrible increase. But unfortunately, I don't know. That's a good question. There might be a loop or workaround. So send me an email on it and I'll check it out, and then catch up with me next week. And we'll see if we can find some sort of solution for it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. So basically, there's one person who kept calling. I'm going to go ahead and see specifically in here, whatchamacallit. I'll call him back real quick. Let's get him on the line because he just called like 4 or 5 times, so it must be important. Let's see what's going on real quick. Hold on. Let me get this phone to connect. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. Would you like me to answer a specific question, or would you like me to go ahead and run hearing questions with you?
I have a specific question. My name's Tony.
Perfect.
And I'm going to federal court. I've talked to you about this back last year, and you mentioned to me that I probably wouldn't end up going to oral arguments, which would be kind of difficult. But I am scheduled for oral argument 21st of July, and I don't know what to expect there. What kind of questions should I expect on oral arguments in federal court?
So it's a totally different animal. When you go to federal court, they're big courtrooms. So when you walk in, you know how like TV has pretty big courtrooms? Well, these courtrooms are...
They've made it by phone call only.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. So that's going to actually be less intimidating. So here's the thing. They're only going to be asking questions relative to specifically the issue at hand. It won't be a general, like, are you disabled? It'll only be asking questions specifically about the legal issue that is at issue for the claim, whether it's a factual one or a legal one. So do you know what the legal issue is that occurred for this, to get to, is it district court or circuit court? The first level or the second level?
I'm at the district court in Fort Pierce.
Okay, perfect. So have you read the brief at this point as to what your arguments are and what the combined motion arguments are from the opposing counsel on behalf of the commissioner?
Yes, I have.
What is the main legal issue that you are seeking to flip or remand this decision on?
Well, there's a couple of them. The Social Security doctor that they had me see, she did not tell the truth. I had been to the VA a month before about my hand issue, and then they told me to come back within a month if it wasn't any better, and I did. And then that was in January, and I went to see the VA the day before I went to see the Social Security, and they noted that there was still a problem. Mm-hmm. That doctor of the Social Security said that I had 5x5 strength in both hands, and also I could walk heel to toe, and I cannot because it was a left ankle that was originally with this, because the hand is neuropathy due to type 2 diabetes, and the actual problem was the left ankle. She said I could also walk heel to toe. Afterwards, I went to rehabilitation, and they even marked down that I could not walk heel to toe. So that's one of them. The other issue is that the ALJ decided that I was not going to be seen in person, held it by telephone, and he was in Greensboro, South Carolina, even though he said on the transcript, we are in Tampa today. But the one that done the transcription said that they were in Greensboro, South Carolina. Now, he actually has a home there in South Carolina. He has a road named after him as well, too. It was a Tampa judge. He's been shifted over to St. Pete now, but it was during the holidays, so I get it. He wanted to be home for the holidays, and that's when this, because it happened in January when I had to go see him, and I guess he just wanted to stay in South Carolina, and said that he, due to COVID, can't be seen, but people were still being seen due to COVID, and I had originally said that I wanted it in person, and they didn't offer me video, so that's one of the other reasons too.
Okay, so did you actually have it in person, or was it telephonic?
No, it was over the phone, and a lot of it, even the transcript shows it's inaudible. And you don't. And my complaint was you don't really know what's going on because you're not really there. When you have I had an attorney that did not go ahead and support onto federal, but when an attorney says, "Is this a hypo one?" which is I found out later by reading the transcript, hypothetical one being that if you're at 38% disability, would he be able to do this job? And that's the other argument. Now, on the defense side, they said that I didn't have a single physician that said that I was disabled. However, in rehabilitation, they did score an ODI that was like 40%, and that's something else I put in the argument as well, is that they paid no attention to my doctors. Their doctor basically did not tell the truth, because the day before I was at the VA, and a month before even for that, for the hands, as well as the heel to toe, which happened about 3 months later going through rehabilitation. They said I can't do heel to toe either. And this also noted, and I know there's not much that can be brought with this, but I says also this doctor got their degree in Dominican Republic, which doesn't really work in the state of Florida, but she's from Louisiana, and she did her like an internship in Louisiana and then came over to Florida. But also while she was here, she has a malpractice suit that was against her. Guy lost his leg in emergency room. That guy got paid $25,000, and the attorney got paid $33,500. I put that in there just to kind of like give the extra to it and say, this is your star. It's better than all the physicians and the professionals at the VA. And I left it at that.
All right. So the last argument you made about her work history and her education history is not going to be successful. The judge actual location argument is not going to be successful. It's just not going to be relevant for the outcome of the claim, especially since it's telephonic. The ME didn't tell the truth because you had just before, just after medical treatment that showed otherwise is an argument over the weight of the evidence as to factual review of your body for medical issues. So there's inconsistencies in battle of the experts as a result. That's your only good argument that I'm hearing here. Why did that get denied at the appeals council? Because that would be more of an appeals council argument, less of a constitutional type of higher district circuit court type of argument.
Basically, my attorney didn't do their due diligence of the job. So I found it out on my own by going through everything. You don't see it unless it's put up in front of you.
Okay. All right. So
what about the judge shifting me out of in person? That's not going to count for much.
Well,
because,
I mean,
actually on the Social Security side, they say they discourage waiver of being in person. They discourage it. That's on the Social Security rules.
So here's the deal with the whole situation with in person. You have a right to request in person. You're going to wait forever for a hearing. Did you at any point sign any documentation allowing yourself, and I mean, it's a constitutional argument. It's not like an SSA argument. It's I have a right to a hearing argument, which is constitutional. So did you at any point, which I'm sure you did because you still had it, or they made a mistake, but did you at any point go ahead and sign a document that says you agree to go ahead and do this hearing over the telephone?
Well, at first I signed the document that I wanted in person, and then my attorney said you can't have it in person. I delayed signing on it. I said, but I really want it in person. You can't have that, and you must sign this document.
You don't have to, but that's neither here nor there. You signed it, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then you did the hearing anyways, and at the beginning of the hearing, they said, do you agree to do this hearing telephonically, right?
I don't remember, but you're probably right. I don't know that that would have been there.
They always put that, if it was within the past 6 months, that's like part of their spiel. But all right, so bottom line is this. That's not going to be an argument because they've got probably written and probably oral on top of that during the hearing. So your argument comes down to battle of the experts, weight of the evidence, and essentially the medical expert that they sent you to, whether or not they had lawsuits against them is, maybe good, but that's in my opinion, that's a small thing. If she had, a lot of malpractice situations, the SSA should have done a reevaluation as to her medical expert status. But if she's just got one, I mean, these doctors all have one. They all have one. They all have some lawsuit against them at some point from some person. So Bottom line is that's not going to be a good. The only argument is this about, you went to a person before, you went to a person after, and now you've got a battle of the experts. Who wrote this brief, by the way? Because an attorney would not have put some of the things you've talked about in there. Like, did you write this or did the attorney write this?
Yes, sir. I'm pro se.
All right, so that's why. All right, they're going to give you a little bit of wiggle room, benefit of the doubt, because you don't know you don't know how it works, and that's good for you. That's a good thing. But just please go buy Sarah Bohr's book. Sarah Bohr, Bohr, Sarah Bohr, Sarah Bohr. She's retired now,
Okay.
but she updates a book. Specifically, go buy the district court book. Specifically, please. Either hire her or another district court attorney. Now, where are you based? Are you in Florida or somewhere else?
Yeah, I'm in Florida.
All right, the Florida
I'm
one
in Florida.
that does a really great one at that level is Sarah Jacob. So look up Sarah Jacob, disability attorney. She went to the same law school I did. Good friend. Sometimes I'll send her claims when I'm overload for initial filing through AC. For some of the higher level stuff, she practiced. She got to do a claim in front of Justice Ginsburg. So bottom line is she's the real deal. She's kind of like Sarah Bohr 2.0. She didn't write the book, but she's like Sarah Bohr 2.0. So look up Sarah Jacob. She'll probably be able to help you. I am overloaded initial filing recons, ALJs, and ACs, but she's always looking for claims. Are you North, Middle, or South District for district court?
I'm in the Southern District.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she's got all the certs, can help you out, and she'll be able to run through it. She's the brain on that particular arena, and I would know because she's in my state. So, but
okay, is she in the Orlando area or South?
She's Orlando area, yeah. But remember too, when it comes to that level, they could be 5 states away, they could be 10 states away. That is highly specialized work. I do it. I don't enjoy it, but it's highly specialized. If I have a question about district, circuit, or supreme stuff, I will usually go and ask her because that's like all she does. That's it. She doesn't do like the low level stuff like the ALJ hearing or the filings for the most part. She just does that stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the help with that. Because last time we talked, you told me that I probably wouldn't have oral arguments, and it wouldn't be good for me to have them.
Well, you're going to have them now because you're pro se. That means your butt's going to be. Usually, it's the attorneys that might have oral arguments, and that's at the judge's pleasure. So kind of to some degree, it's at the judge's pleasure. But the point is, bottom line here. Buddy, go get representation because you are way too high up the ladder to ring the bell in pro se. You need her to take a look at it and help you out with the brief. I mean, I'm going to bed at like 2 a.m. Otherwise, I'd work with you on it. But I just got too much stuff going on. But man, she's the cream of the crop when it comes to high level stuff. Like she could take you all the way to the Supreme Court. So. Anyways, yeah, good sir. I'm never too ashamed to say that there's somebody better at me at a particular thing with this stuff. And man, let me tell you, she's the real deal. So when I have a question at a high level and I want to take somebody out to lunch, I take her out to lunch to go ask her questions.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Thanks a lot.
You got it, good sir. Have a wonderful night. You got it. Perfect.
All right. You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Perfect, guys. So now with that said, I'm super tired. Haven't been getting enough sleep, which as you can tell, I don't look amazing because of, but now I need to be honest with you guys. 2 terrible things happened to me at Walmart before I end this video. And I want to make something very clear about these bad things that happened at Walmart. First thing that happened at Walmart, I want to show you real quick, is that what usually would cost me $300 to purchase, right? To go ahead and buy, to go ahead and eat throughout the month, cost significantly, and I mean significantly more than what it normally does. It cost over here. I got to find the image because it was that crazy. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hold on, guys. It's this image that shows me literally paying for this bill that usually costs me $300 per month. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Here it is, right here. Okay, boom, right there. Look at what I paid. Here, I'll blow it up real quick. Look at what I paid. Normally it's $300 at Walmart. And this right over here was my horrified and surprised face because I couldn't believe it was up $70 from what I normally pay, which is just insanity. The other terrible thing that happened is that I had to buy some creams, like some face creams, and I wanted to buy a lotion for my arms. I'm going to tell you guys this, and I'm going to be fair to people about this, but they do not properly split up the men's lotions from the women's lotions. I accidentally walked into the women's lotions area. It took me more time to figure out what I needed to buy in that particular aisle than the entire shopping spree for that $377 or whatever it was right there. If it were up to me, women would get in their lotion aisle one for AM, one for PM, and I don't care if it's coming, if they have to scrape it off the bottom of a whale in mating season to get their scrub. That's their final, lotion, facial, whatever, okay? With the guy section, look, redwood, something, marine oriented, and then something mountain oriented. That's it. That's all we need. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was perplexed. I read every single lotion, every single thing on the back. I did a full study. I was worried that all of the cold items in my cart were going to go bad. But anyways, then I go out to the truck, and then this lady in her little BMW, her BMW zips by me and just looks at me like I'm this heathen for having, a diesel truck that I brought out because I had to fill it with diesel. And I was thinking to myself, this lady thinks she's so much better than me because she's got her little BMW-y, Mercedes-y kind of car. Please, my diesel costs more than that lady's entire car at the end of the year. I don't even want to hear it from that lady. She thinks she's up here. She's not. Diesel truck people are up here right now. Anyways, guys, I will catch you later. Have a wonderful night, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.